Merry Christmas from Tantrum House! Today we're looking at board games launching on Kickstarter the first half of January 2019. These next few will launch on January 1st. Planetary Conquest is for 2 players trying to control a new galaxy. Players will build their own 80-card decks, and it has area control, hand management, deck management, and combat using dice rolling. DGS Games is bringing some new miniatures. There's Flip Out, bring your own coins to your friend's house, show them your collection, battle for the highest score, and play for keeps. History and Action Games pushed back their Kickstarter campaign for the new edition of Sea Rovers. Everything in the game has been fine-tuned, some elements expanded, and new mechanics have been developed that add even more historic detail and action. Brutus, it's for 1 to 4 players. The goal is to racketeer the commerces, to rob the residences, and to hire new thugs in the industries trying to build the most influence. On January 3rd, Eagle Gryphon brings Railways of Portugal. It expands the Railways of the World series with a new map of Portugal designed by Vital Lacerda and illustrated by Ian O'Toole. Rune launches January 7th. It's for 2 players. It's a card game where you try to summon a Zemilio from another world. Only the one who will collect the most mana from the runestones will be able to complete the ritual. Also on January 7th, Onimaru launches. It's from Penguin&Panda Productions. It's for 2 to 4 players. Fully co-op game where you and your allies take up arms to defend a village against the otherworldly invaders. You win the game if you're able to destroy the 3 villainous Oni. However, if you fail to do so within the predetermined number of days or rounds, the gate will remain open forever and all of Japan will succumb to the shadow. These next few will launch on January 8th. Shadow Tactics, it's for 2 to 6 players. Take control of 5 unique characters with vastly different skill sets and fight your way through the forces of the daimyo. Hide in bushes and sneak in the shadows, utilize your special skills, and deal with the leaders of the rebellion. IDW launches the next tabletop adventures for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with TMNT Adventures. Expands on their already developed system. This tabletop miniatures game is action-packed with new miniatures, tiles, and adventure comics for both TMNT fans and miniature game players. Jordan Draper continues with his Tokyo series with a few more games launching on Kickstarter. Overworld Games launches a 2nd edition of New Salem. It's for 3 to 8 players, includes the Constable expansion. The Constable will be in charge of triggering the plentiful array of new events. There's also a new sets of buildings. Garphill Games launches Circadians First Light. It's for 1 to 4 players, and the aim is to lead a team of researchers on the planet of Rye. Players need to manage their crew, which are dice, to visit various parts of the planet for trade, farming, construction, and research. Galactic Raptor Games launches Animal Kingdoms. It's for 1 to 5 players. Each player takes on the role of a house leader, battling to gain control of the 5 kingdoms. Cards in your hand represent noble beasts that have pledged their allegiance to you. Try to improve your influential position in the kingdoms to win the game. Born to Serve is going to relaunch. It's a board game brawl between superheroes for 2 to 4 players. And I wanted to mention that our friends Derek and Lindsay Funkhauser from Board Game Spotlight and Martin Poole from Board Game Exposure will be raising funds for their channels and offering a bunch of promos. On January 10th, Calliope Games brings a new Tsuro game called Phoenix Rising. It'll have double-sided tiles to flip and rotate throughout the game, creating diverging paths and opening up new strategies. Bunny Stasis launches January 10th. It's for 2 to 6 players. Being the last bunny standing is the goal of the game, but surviving the stresses as well. Be careful though, because if you make one of the other bunnies upset, then there could be a bunny stampede. And January 10th, Kolossal Games brings an expansion to Western Legends called Ante Up. It has new mechanics and strategies to explore, rob or ride the train to an all-new town and explore the new territories. Play Pharaoh, high-stakes poker, and climb the new gambler track to grow your legend. On January 14th, Mad Lab launches Yokai City of Crime. It's for 3 to 5 players. Players take on the roles of powerful gangsters. Your goal is to become the most powerful villain in the city of crime. Mid-January, we'll see Crypto Millionaire. The Daniel Zayas company launches Tangled Timelines. It's for 1 to 4 players, has 72 unique character pieces, has a clever card play mechanism. Heroes will be sent into the Tangled Timeline to retrieve who they can based on matching class or skill. And mid-January, Alley Cat Game launches Coral Islands. It's for 2 to 4 players. It's a 2-in-1 game featuring 2 competitive games utilizing dice stacking as the prominent mechanic. Players are tasked with conservation efforts to repopulate coral as well as redevelop islands to make them conducive to animal life. Some videos that you'll see from Tantrum House from this list will be Onimaru from Penguin&Panda Productions. We'll do IDW's new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. And we'll be putting out a Coral Islands video from Alley Cat Games. And the new secret game from Kolossal that'll be hitting Kickstarter soon. You'll hear more about that from Kolossal on Christmas Day. Well, one more thing I didn't want to forget about, and I don't want you to forget about, is our Tantrum House Award Show premiere on January 5th at 8 p.m. So tune into that, and we'll be having lots of guests, other content creators, and some publishers there on the show. So we'd love for you to join us January 5th at 8 p.m. to see what some of the awesome board games were from 2018. Well, thanks for joining me today, and be sure to subscribe to Tantrum House.